It's Dodgy Gamer, International Manager of Mystery, and I've switched sides, quite literally. So hello there everybody, welcome back to the channel. Dodgy Gamer here, International Manager of Mystery, managing obscure nations so you don't have to, and we have a new obscure nation, as you may have guessed from the wonderful throat singing improv at the start there and my Spirit of Tengri t-shirt. We've moved to Mongolia. We've gone from East Timor to Outer Mongolia, or we're out of East Timor to Mongolia. Anyway, new job. We're taking over Mongolia in the East Asian Federation. So still in Asia, but within a different sub-federation. We're ranked 196 in the world. I'm going to take a little bit of time now. I've literally just accepted the job, so I'm just going to take a bit of time now, if you'll excuse me, to have a look around, look at the national pool, put together some tactics, and today I'm going to bring you the first match we have, which is going to be coming up right after this fade to black. So, fast forwarded a month or so, a couple of months, and you'll see our first matches here against Pakistan. So a friendly at the National Sports Stadium in Ulaanbaatar. It's the 12th of June. Apparently the weather forecast is for a gale and a temperature of 4 degrees. I'm not quite sure how that happens, because as far as I know, Mongolia is pretty baking hot in the summer. Anyway, let's have a look at the team we've got. So how did we come to this point? Now, as you know, in the previous episode, check out the links popping up here, down in the description below if you missed it. Spoiler alert, got that in this time. We were knocked out. East Timor were knocked out of World Cup qualifying in the first round by Singapore. Mongolia suffered a similar fate. They were knocked out over 2 legs by Bhutan. Heavy defeat, 4-1 at home, and then a 1-0 defeat away. And that secured the fate of my predecessor, who was sent on his way. The job came up. I applied for it. So we've only gone up, about 15 places or so in the world rankings. So it's a fairly realistic move, I think. So today we've got this friendly against Pakistan. You see, I've organised a lot of friendlies here. You'll see a familiar name there, East Timor. I always like to bring up one of my old teams, but I couldn't get them for this. I think some previous East Timorese manager had organised a friendly for them or something. It's going to be a lot of friendlies for now. So we're going to do the first match today against Pakistan. And I'll talk a little bit after that match about, what's coming up in terms of competitive games in the near future. And here's our squad for today's match. We're fairly full strength, if that's the right word to use, at this end of the world rankings. Fairly full strength in that not many players are injured. There were 1 or 2 who I might have picked for the squad who were injured, and 1 replacement I had to make. They're all based in Mongolia. You can see the abilities down here. I mean, there's lots of 1.5, 2.5 stars there. Our best player, it seems, is this goalkeeper, Tulga Torbold, who I actually had to bring into the squad. He hadn't been picked by the previous manager. If we have a look, low on eccentricity, but very low on first touch, which makes me worry about him getting put under pressure by strikers. He's a goalkeeper. He's got balance of 1, stamina of 1. All right. Apart from that, though, physical stats are all right, I suppose. I'm not sure. Is he any better than what we had at East Timor? I'm not really sure, to be honest. We do seem to have strong goalkeepers, though, because as you see, the 2 backup keepers have decent potential. And we have a couple of other goalkeepers in the national pool who I haven't called up. Looking over at this side, you see we're going to be having some fun with the names here. Some quite long names and some quite unusual combinations of letters to get our tongues around. But also, up front, the best-looking striker we've got, unfortunately, is ineligible. For some reason, I missed him when I was putting the squad together, and then a striker got injured, and I called him up. But we've got a guy called Moron. So, Moron the Mongol. He's a poacher. He's got finishing of 12, a bit of acceleration and pace, which is going to be useful at this level, but only 3 goals in 20 caps. Could he be the new, what was that guy's name? I've forgotten already. Was it Jose Carlos from East Timor? How quickly we forget. It's a pretty average squad. We've got this guy. Yison Dene as a wide midfielder, 3.5 stars. He looks fine. I guess he can kick a ball, so that's good. But yeah, it seems to me, I don't know, at first glance, obviously the star ratings here, they're very subjective in Football Manager. It depends on your backroom staff. It depends on the level you're playing at and so on. But it does just seem just that bit lower than East Timor, although the world ranking is higher. We will find out how it goes. I'm just going to show you now the tactic I've put together. So this is what I've gone with. Again, I was kind of devoid of wingers. I've got no one available in the national pool or in the player searches who can play in an attacking midfield left-sided role. And I like to have my wide wingers pushed up, but I'm going to have to go without them. I've got this guy, Asku, who can play on left midfield, but not so much up there. Also struggling to find a decent left back. I've got lots of wing backs in the left who can play in a more advanced position, but not so much as a full back. So we'll see. And again, the central midfielders, there are plenty of them available, but not much variety in the roles they can play. So you see, I've gone here for 2 central midfielders, one on defence, one on attack. But as you'll see here, they're not. I mean, he could play as a Carrilero, but I'm not going with a 3-man midfield, so I decided against that. And the other one, it's a similar story. Again, he could play as a Carrilero, but can't. He's not really that good in the other positions. Do get to bring in a shadow striker, though. I do like to have a striker drifting in from the shadows. So today's opponents, Pakistan. So pretty decent team to start off with. Although it's a massive nation in terms of population, of course, if we just have a look. 191st in the world, so not that far above us. We're just going to scroll right down to the bottom of the world rankings here. And there you see Mongolia. We're equal, 196, with Macau. And Pakistan are just a few places above us. So a win against them today could go a long way to giving Mongolia an initial boost in the rankings. We see their poor East Timor still rooted to the bottom, although we had a couple of little bumps up the world rankings. We couldn't ultimately get off the bottom. But never mind, that's in the past now. We're moving on. We're moving on to Mongolia, and let's move on to our first match. So here's the preview. We're in woeful form versus Pakistan's decent form. Let's see how the teams are going to line up. And, Pakistan seem to have taken a leaf out of the East Timor playbook from the previous episode, going for a narrow 4-2-2-2 formation, as we go for a 4-4-1-1. Into the dressing room. Haven't really had a chance to meet the players yet, but your chance to win a place in competitive matches. They're probably thinking, what competitive matches? There's no competitive matches lined up for absolutely ages. Okay, they don't know me that well yet. I got a quick interview before I start my first match, of course. All Bayin Sport. They've come from Bayin Sport to interview me, of course. And they're asking me about the future of the Syrian manager. Well, I hope they stick with him. And now they get round to asking me about my first match in charge. It's a special day. Moron, they're asking me about Moron coming back in, and I'm sure they'll welcome the Moron. All right, we're going to kick off now then. We're playing in the red, which is interesting, as our nickname is the Blue Wolves, against Pakistan's kind of luminous green number. I guess they get their kits made at the same place as the cricket team's manufacturer. But we got a free kick early on. Aksu gets it in. Oh, good shot there. Point blank range. Saved by the keeper. And Pakistan clear it. But nice positive start from us. And a free kick now for Pakistan. And it just goes harmlessly over the bar. And that's the highlight. Seems this is going to be similar to the East Timorese highlights, where we're just going to get lots of free kicks going wide and flying over. Okay, another free kick. It gets whipped into the box this time, and the header flies in. It's Davayajav. Bator Davayajav gets the honour of the first goal under my management. Simple goal, that, straight off the training ground. We all know about the international management training in Football Manager. Whipped in the in-swinger. got his noggin on it. We're 1-0 up. No action whatsoever after the goal. We just strolled our way through to half-time. Fairly even match. Pakistan had a bit more possession. We've just had the more shots on target, and that has been the difference. But I'm going to tell the team, you've played well, but there's room for improvement, which they're kind of about. It seems, I guess, always the same in Football Manager. They don't really listen to you until you've been here for a few games. So you've got what it takes. We've boosted confidence in a couple of them. So we're sending them out there with no changes. You see Pakistan have made 3 substitutions to start off the second half, and they're going for something straight away. And one guy with a very long name just hacked down their winger there as he made the run. They don't have any wingers. Whoever it was making the run. And Ramzan does his special free kick that doesn't go anywhere near the target. Anyway, here come Pakistan again, but we've won it off the throw-in. And we're bringing it back to the goal scorer, Davayajav. I'm going to pronounce his name differently every time I say it. Bayar Jargal knocks it up. It's Togoldor who's got the run, and he's forced the keeper into the save. We've got the corner. Keep the pressure on. As Crew knocks it in, but straight to the keeper. Hanif. Highlight ends. Well, we've also had a quiet second half so far as we approach the 70th minute. I've made a few substitutions. We keep picking up yellow cards. There's a lot of yellow cards coming out here for a friendly, but not a lot of action, it has to be said. However, we're happy to hold on to the 1-0 win at the moment. Pakistan don't seem to be creating anything. They've added no shots on target. We've kind of evened out the possession. So we'll see what happens in the last 10 minutes. I'm probably going to make a couple more substitutions. I'm just going to cancel that because I want to see what happens with this highlight before I commit to anything. Galaderne, beautiful interception, and brings it inside now, but we lose the ball. Pakistan just going for Route 1 football. Terrible stuff. Mongolia are showing them how it's done. Here we go. We're bringing it up now. Patient build-up on the left. We're stretching them wide, of course, because they're playing with that narrow formation, but just the final ball's letting us down. But here we come again. Galaderne knocks it out wide. Are we going to whip the cross in here? Yes, we are, but the shot gets blocked, charged down. That's the only highlight we've really had of any note so far in the second half. But there's more coming now. Legs are starting to tire. Space is starting to open up. Is there another goal in this match? We'll wait and see here. But here come Pakistan. Here they come. They're building up the play nicely around the box. They've knocked it out wide. But we've intercepted the cross. It goes out for a corner. Edge of the seats. Stuff time here. Can we survive this? It looks like it. Bayar Jagal. Get rid. Well, not like that. You could have at least got it into the other half. Anyway, here they come again. Ikram out to Afridi. Pakistan are coming forward now. They're desperate for the draw. The glory draw in this prestige friendly of world football, Mongolia, Pakistan. But it's time for a quick break. And it's Yesun Dene who plays it inside, and so the highlight ends. Now I'm going to make some time-wasting substitutions, if you'll just indulge me for a moment. Goalkeeper substitution, classic friendly move. We'll bring on another centre-back as well, give Davajayav a chance to get a bit of applause from the home crowd. Okay, and there was no need for any of those tactical changes because that is the match. The pundit from Bayan Sports is surprised by the result. Mongolia winning is really something. Well, we're back to winning ways. We've got some pride back after the humiliation by Bhutan in the World Cup qualifiers. Off to a good start, a nice positive start. We got the win, we got the clean sheet, we edged out Pakistan in the narrow game. We showed our cutting edge. It's all here in the positive media reaction. Competitive games going forward. If we just have a look. So we looked at the schedule. It's friendlies for the rest of the year. Looking into 2020, we've got a friendly again against Macau. There's a high chance, though, that this friendly will not take place because I have been looking at the competitions for Asia. So if I just bring up those international competitions and show you what potentially is coming up now. Asia, of course, being such a large continent with a large number of countries, and the fact that the World Cup and the Asian Nations Cup are held so close together, they have quite a long series of qualifying campaigns. So World Cup qualifying, as we know, is already underway. If we come to Asian Nations Cup qualifying for the 2023 edition of the competition, that's going to be drawn on the 25th of March. Oh, okay, so I got a bit confused there. So that match against Macau will go ahead. The draw will take place just after that, around the time of that friendly, just after, I think. And then when we get to June 2020, we're going to have that first round of Asian Nations Cup qualifying. Now, as far as I'm aware, if this is the same as Football Manager 2018, that's going to be, again, like the World Cup qualifying, there's going to be two-legged knockout rounds with some of the weaker teams in the Asian Confederation. I think we're going to be in that. If we lose, well, then the teams that lose out in those early rounds of Asian Nations Cup qualifying get entered into the Asian Solidarity Cup. The draw for that is in October. It takes place at the end of October going into November. So there are going to be competitive games. Either we're going to go on a mini run in Asian Nations Cup qualifying, or we're going to lose and go into the Asian Solidarity Cup. Either way, those matches are going to be here on the channel for our future episodes of the International Manager of Mystery. But for now, thank you for watching. What do you think of this move to Mongolia? Is it an interesting move? Was it the right time to leave East Timor? Should we have gone somewhere else? Will you tell me what you think in the comment section below? As ever, your feedback is always appreciated. Thank you, by the way, before I forget, to the Northman, who on Twitter kindly gave me some feedback on the channel, mentioned that depending on the size of your screen and how you watch the video, having my webcam over on the other side may have resulted in my channel icon blocking out my face. So now we've moved over to this side, and I hope you'll agree it's much better. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. Please hit that like button if you enjoyed this episode and you think I made the right move coming to Mongolia. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I'm Dodgy Gamer, and I'll see you again soon.